Welcome to Zelda Speedruns. We have for you from the Zelda 2 Randomizer Standard Tournament 2025 a Swiss round 2 matchup between Sawneyrath and Valence. On tracking today is JLo, and I'll pass it over to our commentator for this race, Tabby. Take it away.
Thank you. We got a great matchup here. The last matchup of the second round of Swiss tonight. After this match, we're actually going to be doing the drawing for round three, so that'll be exciting. We got both of these runners in the 0-1 bucket. They both lost their first round, so both looking for their first win. Runners should be going off here soon. So first thing we'll see is what kind of biome we'll be dealing with today. Is that always kind of the biomes kind of dictate a lot of times what kind of seed we're gonna have. And looking like a dry canyon or maybe a caldera. We got Magic Cave over here. On Sawny's side, gonna draw out that red Dyra. And that's P4 is on the west. And that's Medicine Cave over on Valence side. Okay, that's a dry canyon there. You can tell because Saria is separated by sand. What do we got? A Magic Cave, a container, and a bag. Can you get it? Yep. Sonny's gonna take attack 2 there. That's Magic Cave. So a dry canyon allows for pretty free movement on the west. So that's always nice. Just skip life. Sonny's skipping life 2 there. Let's see what we got in Medicine Cave. Nice 500 bag, and Sonny's got a quick attack 3. Gonna take that life 2. I like taking that life 2. Life 1 is just really pretty weak. And we got the hammer, so that's nice. Hammer was in Medicine Cave there. Let me check that off. Valence did not get through Magic Cave, so yeah, looks like Valence is gonna give that another go. Just gotta draw out that Dyra. And we got Thunder in Saria. Thunder. Let's see what that mirror is. It's in 5. Okay. Water. Sonny's on the community hints. I believe that said water is cheating. I guess that's the water. I'm not quite as familiar with the community hints, but I'm guessing that's what that means. And there's Bagu's house. We got Bagu. Bagu has a heart container for us. And you can see this dry canyon is pretty wide open. We got Mito here. Mito has the trophy, so we'll see what Rudo will be somewhere over here. And now we got Trophy Cave. On Sonny's side, and that's the flute. So we're finding hammer and flute, so that's a lot of the kind of overworld blocking items other than boots, so we'll see if we need those. Flute only blocks stuff on the east, so we'll see when we get there. Yeah. Valence heading over to Saria, gonna see what we already saw. Sonny taking a look around. We got another town and another... Okay, that's a connector cave. It looks like... That looked like west to east. And I missed what was there in Raru. But Sonny's heading in, so we'll see what that was. As Valence finds the pea bag. Alright. Pea bag. You never know. Sometimes you can get like a nice 500 bag, so it's worth it to go in. Especially if you're just gonna check the hands, may as well go in for the bag. As Valence is gonna get the flute, so Valence just a little bit behind, but nothing that can't be made up. This is Hard Container Cave. You can tell from that first enemy right there. And Sonny's getting up close to attack 4 already. Hard Container Cave. What do we got in here? That is the life spell. That's nice. Nice early find. With these flags, life spell is guaranteed to be 3 bars of health. So, definitely has a little more value in these flags than when we get to brackets. That'll be a randomized amount of life spell. And on grass tile, and that is a heart. So we're down to just one more location. That is a 3-6 on the west. With no items. I think that was no items. Sonny gonna check King's Tomb. King's Tomb's got a hint. In a maze lies something. That was fast. Right, fire spell there in Fruto. That's 2, because the P2 is in the west, and that also had 0 items. So we're seeing a lot of 0 items in the palaces, so... Dry Canyon and no items in the palaces so far. This could be a fast one here. No item in that 3-6 that we saw already. Here's Pillar P-Bag Cave. So this is already all the overworld spots. Valence gonna go in for that P-Bag as well, looks like. And oh, that's medicine. Did we see Mito? I don't think we saw. Okay. Okay. Fairy spell is in the maze, so that's good. So we will need either that fairy spell or the magic key to have logical access to the palace. Yeah, so it looks like Sonny's gonna turn in the medicine for the trophy, and then take that trophy to get the fire spell. Fire spell is gonna be linked to something else. You know, Sonny obviously hoping that fire is gonna be something good. You can't really tell unless maybe you cast the spell you already have, and then if the fire beams come out, then you know what it's linked to. But with the only spell you have right now is life that you can't even cast, you won't be able to tell yet. So I assume Sonny's gonna go right over and turn this in for the fire spell. As Valence is kind of checking the same stuff that Sonny already saw. And then I assume we're just gonna go to that east. Maybe check on these dry canyons. You kind of want to check the far left and far right. You might see a raft tile or a bridge. So I don't think either one of them check the far right of the map, which is, you always want to check kind of both far sides on these dry canyon maps. On like all your maps, but especially these dry canyons. We'll see if Sonny starts taking magic levels to get that fire cost down. Fire, you kind of want to see what it is. See if it is something good. You know, because if it's Reflect or Thunder, that's a required spell that you can skip. Yeah, Sonny gonna check over here. Nothing doing here. Looks like that connector to what looked like to be the east is our only way out of here, unless one of these is a cave connector as well. Can we see all the way up in the top right as well? Yeah, Sonny's gonna check that. As Valence is kind of heading up and making the same checks as well. So we got a P2, P4, and a 3-6 over here on the west. Yeah, nothing in the upper right, so looks like that connection cave to the east is our only way out of here. Alright, got that attack 5. Yeah, now Sonny's gonna start taking these magic levels. See if we can get that castable fire. Oh, it's jump. Yep. So now with jump, Sonny's gonna go over and, you know, first thing you want to do, go get that down stab. Okay, so P4 did have 0. So we have no palace items in all three west palaces have no items. Yep. So we got jump spell here. So still no access. We got shield spell and Naburu over. Valence has made his way over to the east. Yeah. So Valence gets sorry. So this could be a real advantage for Sonny here, getting down stab. Save a lot of time here, and Valence did not, you know, take the medicine, go to get the trophy for fire. Sonny just kind of double checking all. East for Bagu's letter for a hint over there. Valence going through the Naburu hints. And we've got a raft tile on the east. Could be our way to the maze. Could be a way to DM. was in the fountain. Yeah, so it looks like a magic container. So it's random, 0 to 3 items, and when you enter the palace from the overworld, you can tell basically by the number of clouds, as Valence is over here on Sunken Cave. So there were no clouds in any of those palaces on West, which means there's no items in there, but there can be 1 or 2, and P5 and P6 can have up to 3. Yeah. So, oh, there's the boots. The boots were in Sunken. I'm not see where Sunken was. Is this it right here? And that's GP over on the east. There it is. There it is, kind of just to the bottom right of down and to the right from GP, so it looks like we take those boots and kind of head up over to the rest of east. Yeah, so unless we find that key, we know we saw that hint for Fairy is in Maze. I don't know if we checked that cave down there. I'm guessing we did. Valence is skipping it. We do need, in order to have logical access to the palaces, we need the fairy spell, or we need the magical key. So basically, the game will not require you to enter the palaces without giving you access to fairy spell or to the magical key. And especially, you can enter without logical access, but all the palaces we've seen do not have any items, so really no reason to go in early. Okay, there's a town over on Valence side. What we got? That's Darunia. And we got the raft in Darunia. Alright. We do not have a child yet. And no way for Valence to get no jump or parry, so no way for Valence for them to get a upstab. We'll see Sonny get upstab, I'm sure, when he gets to Darunia here in a second. And child is in the east. And then we got another town right here as well. Nukasudo. Spell, and Nukasudo. And 7 for the basement. Nukasudo has the cross. That's interesting. It's either in the basement or the spell tower. Looks like... And we got the super jump there from Sani. Even if it's not first try, still counts. Alright. Hopefully, you can cast it. Spell right now. You're gonna be annoyed if you can't cast it yet. Alright, 69. With 6 bars, you're fine. So, I assume we're just gonna get an immediate spell tower check. Yep, there you go. So what do we got? We got the cross, or we got something else? We know the cross is in one of these spots. Oh, reflect spell. Okay. So reflect was in the tower. So now we know that the cross is in the basement as well. Because we did see that hint. Alright, so really, I'm assuming Sonny's going into the tower, gonna get reflect as well. So now we know Thunder, we need the mirror in 5, so now we're really kind of looking for the glove, and we're looking for the maze. We gotta get the maze, there's gonna be a palace on the maze. And, looking for another... Oh, there's a cave to the maze on Valence's side. And there is one of the items immediately. We know one of these is fairy. There's fairy. Alright. So, alright, what's Valence gonna do here? I wants to check which palace this is. Maybe, yeah, maybe even find both the second item here. In case it's the glove. Sonny, yeah, gonna finish just probably this bottom corner here. Make sure there's nothing obvious around here. Okay, there's the desert tile. Got the child on the desert tile. But you might not even see that turn in. You know, you got the maze, so the raft might just go to DM that you might not need, so... Yep, here's gonna be fairy for Sonny. And we might see Sonny go right into this palace. Did we see what palace this was? Getting trolled. Oh wow! It was like behind 2 encounters at there. Alright. Right in that top, that kind of top right thing. It was just a heart container though. Sonny is gonna check with fairy and with downstab. I think we might see Sonny go in this one. It's gonna be... either a 3, 6, 1, or 5. One, and no items here as well. So still looking for the glove, and no items in any palaces so far. Sonny heading here to the right. Surprised you don't check. Surprised he's not checking the top of the elevator, but yeah. Valence gonna go in as well. Might see Valence up A after this to go back to start and get down stab. We'll see. Yeah, this is really now kind of a race for the glove, and we know the mirror for Thunder is in 5, wherever 5 is. 5 is either on the east or in VOD. It's either the second palace in the east or it's in VOD. These guys are gonna be annoying to try to farm. Anya up to attack 6 already. Taking the drop. We have not seen Spec Rock. We have not actually seen Death Mountain. We saw a raft tile, and we know the raft is in Darunia, and Sonny has the child, but has not turned it in. Presumably that's the way to Death Mountain. But if we find the glove somewhere else, I don't think we'll even see Death Mountain. And here's the horse. Attack 5 will also make work for the horse. And Sonny's gonna be the first one with a gem on the board. And Valence right behind. Alright. Found both items, so yeah, I'm gonna keep walking around here in the east. Alright, there's another town. Which town did we not get? Old Casuto? That's a magic container. Yeah, you're probably gonna go get that. Both of them finding Old Casuto. I believe that's all the towns we found as well. We have not found... Alright, Sonny's going back to the beginning. I guess just gonna start clearing... doing the palaces? Or maybe not, probably just... Alright, there's the water tile. There's Bagu's letter. So, unless we find a palace here, you know, we gotta find P5, or we might need that raft to go to DM here, because we're running out of spots where this glove can be. Well, that's a bridge. Where was that? Oh, was that on the bottom right of the... So, Valence looking around Death Mountain, which I don't mind here. You know, with so few palace items, we are running out of spots where this glove can be. Islands. Poking his head in. Poking for the Hammer Cave. there's the raft pile. So the bridge and the raft were both east of DM. Yeah, so with that, you don't even need to go get the raft. You got the bridge connection. If Sonny saw that hint of the cross or just still wants it. I mean, it's not terrible, especially GP on the east. That cross will help you in GP to see the MOAs. Yeah, and especially if you don't see the hint, then, you know, that could be the glove, so. Alright, there's the... Alright, that's a 3-6, one item, so there's another 3-6 with one item on the east, so let's see what we got here. Alright, there's Spec Rock. What do we got in Spec Rock? Just a heart container on Spec Rock. I was about to say we got Spec Rock. Oh, and we got a glove block over there. And we got Hammer Cave over here. So, this could be a turning point here for Valence if we got something good. Basically, if we got the glove in here. I think we're still missing Risen Keybag Cave somewhere on the east, according to what I have written down here. Basically, it's in Risen, or it's in this palace here, the glove, or it's in 5. So we're kind of running out of spots if it's not here in Hammer Cave. So let's see what we got in Hammer Cave. And I did not see if we saw a window here on Sonny's side, so I'm still not sure if we're in 3 or 6. Oh, there's the item. It's Jump Spell, which Sonny already has through fire. Jump is in this 3-6 that we have here. And that's the glove in the Hammer Cave. That is... that's what Valence wants to see. When you spend the time to go to Hammer Cave, kind of before you have to, that's the big payoff right there. So now, Valence going into 4. I'm surprised Valence not going to get downstab first. I don't think they have downstab yet, but... Alright, so we're in 6 here. So 6 is in the east. The windows, the window bars are, and here's Barba. So Sonny's running out of spaces, so Sonny will figure out that this, that the glove is in DM before too long, so, yeah, we'll see if Sonny takes, attack 8, or just decides to start leveling up other attributes at this point. Sonny going for attack 8. So Sonny gonna find DM. So if you're rooting for Sonny, you know, you're hoping he looks around and actually digs for Hammer Cave. You know, sometimes people will check the rock and then they don't feel like checking for Hammer Cave. So we'll see what he does here, but he's gonna need that glove out of the Hammer Cave here. As Valence finds Karok. Valence needs to take a death there to get the castable reflect. Valence. So, 2 gems apiece. Thinking Valence is gonna go over and get downstab now. Valence also taking attack 7. Didn't see exactly where Hammer Cave was, but Hammer Caves are kind of annoying to find in these island DMs, in my opinion. In some of the other biomes, the Hammer Cave kind of sticks out a little more. But here they're kind of all facing the same direction, and you're not going to find like an obvious door on the very outside like you do on some of the other DMs. Five is in Valley of Death, and it has the mirror that we need for Thunder. Yeah, I've been in this situation that Sonny's in where you feel like you've checked every possible door of Death Mountain, and you're still... It's in here somewhere. We did see it. Gonna get fired when I see that it's the jump spell. There it is. Okay, so it was right by the rock. So if you kind of committed to finding the rock first before, and then started checking, you would have come up with hammers real fast. So Sonny's gonna end up getting the glove here, and actually not be kind of be pretty even up at 2 gems apiece. Valence still has to do 6. Sonny's got to do 4. So now Valence into 2. These don't have items, so this is just gonna be kind of find the helmet head and go. And this is, some of these palaces can be pretty quick, so we could have a fast one here. So buckle in. I mean, basically, unless 5 is kind of a little bit of a maze, like it'll be fast here. I did not see exactly where Sonic gonna skip P4 for now. I mean, it's not, you know you gotta come back with the mirror to North Palace anyway, so not, yeah, it looks like Sonny's gonna kind of do is committed to finding P5 first, and before even looking at these. you know, you're gonna come back, so, you know, you can do the palaces now on the west. That's what Valence is doing. Looks like Sonic's gonna start with P5, come back with the mirror, and then do that sweep of all the all the west palaces at that point. I did not see where the entrance to Valley of Death was. Yes, Thunder is in Saria, and that's basically all we're looking for at this point. There it is. Where's the entrance? Yeah, and we've seen all the palaces except, you know, 5, and we know 5 is in the Valley of Death, and even if it's like blocked by the River Devil, we all have the flute, so there's nothing, just gotta go get it at this point. Yeah, just follow this lava up there, and eventually you'll find an opening. There's the entrance up there. Yes, it was by the water tile that we had been at before. Annoying room on Valence's side. Yeah. Valence will be up to 4 gems already. Two items here in 5. One of them is the mirror. That's 4 gems on the board for Valence. Alright, now Valence gonna start taking other levels, not gonna go for attack 8. Which, I like that play. Bump up to Magic 7. Yep. Drop. You see a lot of item rooms. Yep. So there's one. And are we gonna see 5.0 famous for these drop item rooms on top of each other? Is that what we're gonna see here? Oh, you know it. There's the mirror. Right, now we're looking for Guma. down this hole. Go for upstab here. Yep. The raft at this point. And there for Sawney. Gonna head back. I think at the bottom of that drop there was, I believe that room that he dropped into has an elevator down on the left side of it. E6 that was right here. Pretty close down here to the water tile and the VOD entrance. Okay, there's not Sonny's in, but is Guma right here? Right here. Yeah, there it is. There's Guma. And there's B6 for Valence. Now, is Sawney gonna take other levels, or is Sawney gonna take Attack 9? Okay, Sawney's just gonna burn that gem, take these levels. Yeah, you can just take them after level 4 or something, then you don't have to wait for the fanfare, you can take it as you walk over to, that pit in the jump. Here, if I recall. Yep. So that's pretty quick 6 for Valence. Got an interesting sprite set on Valence's side. If not familiar with what that's supposed to be, but if someone knows, please let me know in chat. Yeah, we got a race here, because we know P2 is really quick. Yeah, so Sonia's gonna take the levels now. Sonia's gonna go right into Saria. Yeah, don't forget to go into Saria. Gonna get these town level ups. Time save. You'll see the fanfares are gonna be shorter in town, so nice play here. Saving the time on these bonanza of level ups. We know P2 is really quick. P3 for Sani, I think was a little, Reba was a little farther in. But we could, and GP was right by the entrance, so we could get a sub-hour entry here. For either runner, really. See how quickly Valence sniffs out Guma after the drop. Once you get through those few blocks, definitely just want to ferry through that. Yeah, there's just a few blocks that you have to break first. Alright, we'll see when Valence gets to the drop. Okay, yeah, Valence not taking the drop. Valence gotta take the drop, because the items are down that drop. This is a dead end room that Valence is in. I'm thinking Sani is gonna be in GP by about 56 minutes. You know, P2, the helmet head was right at the bottom of the stairs. The first elevator, I mean, at the stairs. Reading. Alright, yeah, so now Sani was looking for 200 points. 200 points short. I mean, this is the... When you power level like this, you are committed to kind of like taking these big levels. You know, I do like doing these power levels. Personally, I think attack 8 is a little excessive. You can, in my opinion, once you get to 6 or 7, you can start taking other levels. And then you're not so worried about getting to that point threshold after every gem, but still not too much time. Sonic gonna be in here at about 55, 30 or so. GP's right here. Yeah, and looks like Valence is gonna do the same thing that Sonic did. Gonna head all the way over to the right side here after the drop. And before making their way back to the left side of the drop where Goomba was after the left side of the drop, so... And then Valence still has to turn in the mirror. So, still could be a few minutes before Valence gets in, so we'll see how tricky GP is. I didn't see what happened here with Sonny with point. Not sure why Sonny didn't take a bunch of life levels, but yeah. One room in GP, and Sonny's like, oh yeah, life levels are good, I should probably take those. Oh, and did Sonny lose XP points, so, like, didn't even fill the... I see. Valence's sprite is Hanoko from Street Cleaner 3. Those are... I've never seen those words in my life. To get the bigger total? Okay. Oh, okay, he canceled out of... He canceled out of Life 8 to get Attack 8 or something like that. I gotcha. Looking pretty linear so far. Which is not what Valence needs to catch up. Basically, Valence needs a big divergence here. And to kind of Sony to wrong order this GP, and Valence needs to right order it at this point. It's gonna be a couple minutes here between Goomba and then still turning in the mirror. Yeah, so maybe in another... maybe can get in by about the 1 hour mark. So, a couple minutes. Oh, so now Valence is looking for some extra points too. Will this give him enough? Yeah, there you go. paths here, so this is what Valence might need to see here. Kind of see a divergent path and then somehow right order it. So I'm gonna check up here to the right. There's T-Bird. Attack 8, shredding up T-Bird pretty easily. And we do have some rooms past T-Bird at least, so Valence is gonna get in here, but I mean, yeah, we're gonna need something pretty bad back here to keep Sawney from winning this one. Got a fairy block here. This room is a fairy block. On seeds where you have dash, you can use dash and jump. We do not have dash in these flags, so that room is only a fairy block in these flags. Is Darkling gonna be at the top of this elevator? Oh, not yet. It's gotta be pretty close here. There's a 1-up. I'm not sure how many lives Sawney has. With no lives, I'd grab that 1-up, but this looked like Sawney was on his last life. I would have grabbed that 1-up there, but mess with this if you're on your last life. Ooh. Yeah, this attack 8 is shredding things right now. Now, is this gonna be Darkling? Yep, here we go. Yeah, so that's gonna do it for this one. Unless Sawney has some extreme problems with Darkling, which I wouldn't anticipate. Valence is just gonna kind of run out of time here on this one. And get your GGs in chat for your winner tonight, Sawneyrath, with a time of 104.13. Yep, there you go. So Sonny will be moving up to the 1-1 group. Valence is going to fall to 0-2, but a very good race from Valence, too. Very fast seed. And we are joined by our race winner, Sawneyrath. GG's, Sonny.
Thank you, and what a magnificent seed you rolled, my friend.
Yes, that was a fast one. You were both,
So-
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, the real beauty in this seed was the double connector to DM to spend I don't know how many minutes to find Hammer Cave right next to Spec Rock to get the glove at Hammer Cave. That was just beautiful.
And I made that comment that, like, I made a comment here on the commentary that if you just committed to just looking for the rock first, and that you would have found it, and then start poking around, it would have been the first cave you saw after the rock. Like, that rock was hidden, and, yeah, and you, obviously, after checking all those caves, you're like, well, I gotta check Hammer Cave now, and by my charting, there was not many locations for the glove at that point. I think it was only 5, 6, or Hammer Cave.
No, there really weren't
I mean,
many locations.
Yeah, there were. You actually found the glove second. Valence had found it before you, so we already. Well, by the time you saw it, we already knew that it was there. And looks like we have Valence has thrown in the towel on this one, and we welcome in Valence.
Good games.
Yeah. So thoughts on the seed from you, Valence? Just on how it was. Just a pretty fast one.
Yeah, it's pretty speedy. I don't know. Like, overworld routing was fine. I feel like I lucked out on palaces, but it still didn't feel like enough. But that P6, man, if I didn't fall there, I probably would have taken a lot more time in that one. But I mean, overall, it was pretty fun seed, all things considered. Nothing too crazy.
So Sonny turned in the medicine for trophy like early, and was able to get the castable fire for jump for downstab early. So you didn't do that, Valence, but it didn't really seem to affect you. Like, it didn't slow you down kind of in that first pass through of the east.
Yeah.
And then you went back, you both up aid after kind of getting the glove. You did the Valence, you did the West Palaces then. And then when Sonny went back, Sonny instead went straight to 5 to get the mirror. Came back to turn in for the mirror, and then did the P3. Kind of the same. Other than that, was kind of the same routing. You both started with P1 in the maze after finding Perry.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of naturally kind of led you into that direction.
Yeah. I was really surprised because a lot of my practice seeds and the other seeds I've done, there were a lot of items in palaces, and here I don't think there was an item in any of the West Palaces.
Nope, there wasn't.
2 and 5, but those were right next to each other, and like there might have been one more somewhere else.
6 had 1, and P5 had 2, and and we knew that the mirror was one of the items in P5.
Yeah.
Yes, from what I had written down, nothing was on the West, so really there was no advantage or whatever to do those palaces earlier or anything, because there were no items to find there.
Yeah.
Yeah, with how P5 ended up being laid out, that, aside from GP, ended up taking me the longest, just because I hit that long dead end and then had
Yes.
to backtrack.
Yes, the Valence, you had a chance to kind of make up some time. It's like if you went to the left
If I
right
went
after
left
that
first,
drop,
yeah.
but Sonny did the same thing, and it was like, oh, that it was right there at that left.
Yeah.
When
If I
Guma
had
was right
any
there, but
key,
I
I
bet
probably would
everyone's
have.
gonna go right there. So yeah,
But I wanted to save mana on Fairy and like, well, let's keep going right and hope. And it wasn't. I'm like, well, okay, because I was thinking of upping A, but I'm like, wait, there's that left all the way back at that drop. Let's check that out first.
yeah,
And that was
yeah,
lucky.
because when you take those drops, the Guma has to be accessible through the drop.
Oh, it
Like,
does?
Yes.
like if you don't do a drop,
Oh,
it can't dead end into nothing. It has
So
to
I
either
thought you could.
back to the entrance or get to the boss basically.
yeah, a little bit
Interesting.
of a tip with the Euclidean palaces that we have this tournament is that the drops are much more favored to take you to items and bosses.
Yes.
So you want to check drops whenever you get to them.
I mean, that was
And
the
then-
case for 5 and 6 tonight.
Yes.
Yep.
Basically, especially if it's like a drop and you don't know what the room is under it, it kind of usually pays
Yeah,
to
yeah.
drop.
What a seed, though, Tabby. You rolled a masterpiece on this one. Okay. So, yeah, I know that right after this, we'll have the wheel spin for the upcoming 2 weeks, since we are making week 3 2 weeks instead of just a single week.
Yeah, giving people time to for the holidays in case they need more time. And
Yep.
that's going to be over on your channel after this, right?
Yep, I'll take a little bit of time to get set up for that and then get the wheel spinning.
Awesome.
I have everybody set up on the wheel, and I've got a notepad to keep track of the matches.
Yes,
So-
and got like the little notes to make sure that there's no rematches, right? We are not doing rematches. 'Cause I believe starting week 3, you could actually, it's possible to have rematches in the 1-and-1s, I believe.
Yeah, it's possible to have rematches on the 1-and-1s. So if there are any rematches that show up, then I'll be respinning
redrawn,
those.
Yep. All right. So, I think we'll, any more final thoughts from either of you two before we kind of wrap up here?
Valence, I'll let you take final thoughts first.
Okay. I mean, I just want to thank everyone for the restream and the commentary and the tracking and all that. And just good luck, Johnny, on the rest of the. These aren't brackets. Rest of the Swiss. There we go.
I appreciate it, and good luck to you too. We still
Thanks.
have some fairly scary opponents, even in the 0-2s.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'll echo the GGs to you. Tabby, thank you so much for doing commentary. JLo, thank you so much for doing tracking as always. And yeah, I'm probably gonna go get a drink of water, get everything set up for the wheel spin, and of course I cannot forget to thank ZSR for allowing us to be on their channel, so it's greatly appreciated as always.
All right, so thank you both. I think that's gonna do it for us. We have someone here to outro here.
I don't know if Tumble Talk is available, and I don't know what the ZSR schedule looks like. I know that the Wind Waker Multi-World Tournament is going on right now, so definitely keep your eyes peeled for those matches coming up. And if I had a link to the schedule offhand, I would plug a few other things for the schedule. So, yeah, just keep your eyes out on the ZSR schedule in and of itself. See if there's anything that always tickles your fancy, or even that is new for you that you may want to watch. There are a lot of tournaments and good both vanilla and randomizer races that happen here.
Yeah, I will personally mention the Z2 vanilla tournament is kind of wrapping up. I always got my eye on that, so
That's right, all keys has been going on.
Yes, so yeah, if you're into Zelda 2, well, check that out.
But yeah, the only other thing I have before we give it on back to ZSR is definitely give the entirety of the ZSR network a follow, so that way you can stay up to date on whatever is happening. So I think with that, Tomatalk, if you want to give a raid target, or VT, I don't know which one of you is manning the restream right now, I think it'll be a good time to do so. And with that, we will see you all next time.
Yeah, have a good night, everyone. We're gonna raid us on over somewhere else. So have a good night, everyone.